Well, bore da. Good morning, everyone. A big welcome to you all. It's great to see so many of you joining the Mental Health and Wellbeing Assembly this morning. We are here to note the importance of Mental Health Month, which runs throughout the month of May. This is the first of two assemblies, and we look forward to seeing you again next week with what you've learnt and created to mark the Wellbeing Month. I'm Sue-Ann Richards from e-sgol. It's a pleasure to have the company of a very important person in the Assembly today, Sophie Williams from the Children's Commissioner for Wales team. The Commissioner and her team do a great job of sharing the importance of children's rights. A big welcome to you, Sophie. How are you?
Diolch yn fawr, Siwan. Bore da. Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's great to see so many of you have come today. As Siwan mentioned, I'm Sophie and I work for the Children's Commissioner, and I will share a bit more about her and her job in a second. If you joined us last autumn for the Children's Rights Assembly on Universal Children's Day, then you'll already be experts in some of the things I will be mentioning today. However, it's great to see you all turn up to raise awareness and to think about Mental Health Month, which we celebrate during May. Let's get started, shall we, Siwan?
Yes.
Okay, then there's a lovely picture of me on the top with an arrow down to the lady below. And this person is Rocio Cifuentes, the Children's Commissioner for Wales. We're going to do a quick recap because I'm sure that you're all experts by now. But she has a very important job. And as I can't unfortunately hear anybody in the schools, even though I'm sure they're shouting out loud the answers, Siwan, this is on you this morning. I've given you some clues about what her jobs are, the 4 symbols. Do you think you can work them out? We're starting on the left-hand side. So let's see if you can remember.
Right, on the left, I can see an ear and maybe some sound. So does Rocio, the Commissioner, listen?
Excellent. Yeah, her
Yeah.
first job is to listen to children and young people in Wales about what is important to them, what they'd like to change. And what's working well, maybe what needs to be different. So her first job, listen, Diane, Siwan.
Are we going up to the top?
We are going to the top
right.
now.
So that looks like a speakerphone. So getting her voice heard for the children, possibly.
Excellent, fantastic. You did that spot on. So the top one is a megaphone. Everyone gets really excited if I pull that out of my assembly bag. Unfortunately, Rocio doesn't really tend to use a megaphone. Well, not when I've been with her, but a megaphone makes your voice nice and loud. So her second job is to speak out loud. So after she does all the listening to children and young people across Wales about what's important and what needs to change, she speaks out loud to decision makers and Welsh Government and local authorities and telling them what needs to be changed and what needs to be to make life better for children and young people. Diane T. Siwan. Okay, on to the third. We're going on to the right-hand side.
Okay, now then, this is a little harder for me. So a hand and people or children. So looking after children.
Yeah, that's a lovely way to say it. It's quite hard with these symbols, isn't it? It's a bit of a hard clue, but this is supposed to be a helping hand because her third job is to help. So she helps by teaching children and young people about their rights by using her participation team, including me. We go on visits and we do sessions online like this. But also we've got a special helpline. So if children and young people or the adults who care for them think like they're not receiving some of their rights or having some problems, then they can contact our office for a bit of help and advice. So that's the third job. And then the last one, we've got a strong hand here. What do you think this represents?
Standing up for children's rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good description. Challenge is what we say. Herio. So challenge. So after she listens and she speaks out, and maybe from some of the calls we've had in the helpline, she will challenge decision makers like Welsh Government or local authorities to try to make life better for children in Wales. And she'll say, hey, this new law isn't looking after children's rights. You need to change that. We'll challenge that. You need to make it better. So her fourth job is to challenge. Diane Sue, and you did very well there. So we've
Right.
mentioned children's rights lots and lots, and I'm sure everybody in their school knows what children's rights are and learn about children's rights. But it can be quite a hard thing to think about and try to explain. So our office describes it with three important words, three key words that we always talk about, which is on the next slide, which is children's rights are the things that you need, you have to have, you need them to grow up happy, healthy, and safe. So happy, healthy, and safe. They're the things that you need. And unfortunately, again, Siwan, I'm going to challenge you. Maybe not unfortunately, but fortunately, because I do like a quiz, as you can probably tell.
Yes. I'm
Um,
sure the children in the schools are much better than me, and they're shouting at the screen.
So remember, there are 42 children's rights in total. I've chosen 6 this morning with the article number. So if we've got real pros at home, they'll know what the right is from the article number, which is in the top corner. But we've given you some symbols to try to name some of these children's rights. So Article 31, let's have a look at the clue.
Right. Oh, I can see an adult and a child playing, so possibly playing.
Excellent. Yeah, this,
Yeah.
this is one of my favourites. We haven't
Oh,
got this in our human rights. It's special to children and young people. But children and young people have the right to play, to relax and to rest. They're all just as important as each other, but you have the right to relax, rest and play. Article 31. Let's
oh.
see what the symbol for 12 is. Article 12.
The right to listen and be heard.
Yeah, to be heard.
Be
Excellent. So I'm
heard.
sure that everyone at home is doing excellent listening right now.
Yeah.
But also, they've got the right to be listened to and to be taken seriously, to get their voice, their opinions, and their ideas heard as well. That is Article 12. Da iawn, Siwan.
Mm.
15,
Diolch.
15 next, Article 15.
Oh, as you said earlier, it looks like children gonna play rugby in a scrum.
They do, don't
Um,
they?
but they're looking like they're happy, enjoying, playing together. Um, friendship
Yeah,
possibly.
I
Yeah,
enjoy playing with friends too, and you've done that
yeah.
spot on. Article 15 of the UNCRC, the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child, says that you have a right to meet with friends and to join groups. And like you said, even though we can't see their faces, I'm envisioning they're all smiling and laughing here. They're looking pretty friendly, pretty buddied up. So you have the right to meet with friends and to join groups. That is 15. We have number 27 next.
Right. So it looks like a house
Yeah,
with a circle around it. So does that possibly mean that you've got a safe home to go
excellent.
to
Yes, it's a
live?
bit like a safety bubble, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Article 27 includes a few things. It says you have the right to a safe home, appropriate clothing, so clothing that's suitable for all kinds of weathers and seasons, and also appropriate food. So I'm sure that means a very balanced diet. So safe home, appropriate clothes and food. That is 27. Diane TC1. 19 next, Article 19.
Right. Hands over a child. So we've said it in Article 27, I think, to be safe.
Well done. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is the one. Article 19 says you have the right to be protected from being hurt or badly treated. So it's
Mm.
more about you individually and other people protecting you. So the right to be protected from being hurt or badly treated is Article 19. And then 24.
Oh, well, this person looks energetic,
They're jumping for joy,
happy.
it looks like,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
jumping, yeah, with a tree on one side, so that feels like growing, and then fruit, maybe an apple and an orange. So yeah, growing up happy, healthy, possibly.
Oh, you're bringing the happy, healthy, safe, which I love.
Yeah.
Diane T. Suan. Healthy being the key word here. So Article
Healthy.
24 says you have the right to be as healthy as possible. And if we've got schools who have been doing rights for a long time, you will know wording has recently changed. It used to be you have the right to have clean water and to see a doctor if needs be, but it's actually a lot more than that, and it's all about having a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a healthy environment. So that includes doing exercise, seeing a doctor, seeing a dentist, and clean water, but it's all health. So environment, mind, and body. And that actually is what today is all about, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month in May. And again, mental health can be a tricky thing to try to explain and understand, but hopefully I've done that on the next slide for you to explain it a bit better. So my ethical diethic pedwar, Article 24 says you have the right to be as healthy as possible, which would include your mental health. And mental health is about having good thoughts and feelings about yourself. And it's about then, if you've got good thoughts and feelings about yourself, you're then able to cope with things that happen every day, and even when sometimes things go wrong. So that is mental health. And then your well-being is going back to those three key words, is about feeling happy, healthy, and safe, both in your body and your mind. So two really important things. And every person is very different with how they look after their mental health and well-being. Some people like doing the same thing, some people like doing different things, and that's totally fine. And that is the challenge for this week. So we really hope, it's great to see, gosh, that number's really shot up since I've started talking. But hopefully we'll see you all again next week for the follow-on assembly, where we this week would like you to think about two questions. How do you look after your mental health and well-being? I got a bit confused because I was looking at the Welsh questions then. So how do you look after your mental health and well-being, your individual needs? So think about that question on your own. But then also, how does your school support and look after children and pupils' mental health and well-being? And I've been in lots of schools in my job, and I've seen excellent things going on, lots of different things. And there's some examples on the next slide. But before we go there, the way we'd like you to share this, your challenge for the week, is to share how your school looks after your mental health and well-being on our Padlet. And we've got a lovely QR code and a website link there. And a Padlet, if you've not used it before, is a great tool. It essentially is a website where everyone can add all their thoughts and feelings and ideas in one place. It's like one big mind map that we can all put ideas. So you can do this any way you want. You may want to add pictures. You may want to add pictures of drawings or mind maps that you've done in groups, individually, as a class. You might want to elect two pupils from your class, or maybe your wellbeing warriors or children's rights counsellors, to pop the ideas up for you. Whichever way you feel most comfortable doing, you can add all the great ways your school supports your wellbeing and mental health onto our Padlet, which we'll then be sharing next week. And hopefully you can steal some ideas from other schools as well, because that's the whole point, is that we're sharing good practice. So here are some of the ways I've seen schools do some really good mental health and wellbeing support. So loads of different clubs. Some schools have got a list of about 20 when I go out sometimes, learning outdoors. Some schools have got some quiet areas or quiet spaces that children can go if they just need to have a time on their own. You've got councils and groups, so like wellbeing, school council, eco council. There's an array of different councils, which I'm sure that you're aware of. Lots of healthy eating happening in schools, and obviously exercise. And you might do this on maybe specific days. You might have sports day. It could be special celebrations. Lots of different examples there. And I'm sure that you do much more at home as well. So just to remind you, the challenge this week is to how you look after your mental health and well-being, and also how your school does this. And I've totally forgotten to say, next week, what we have missed today, we've tried to keep it nice and short today, so you can go away straight away to talk about this question. However, next week, the firm favourite of the Kahoot quiz will be back. So make sure you bring the appropriate tools and iPads or Chromebooks or computers next week, because we will be doing a quiz, a Kahoot quiz, about how we look after our mental health and well-being. There's lots of different symbols on the screens of some ways that children and young people or adults like to look after their well-being. Siwan, what's one of your firm favourites to look after your mental health and well-being?
It's a very hard decision because I enjoy most of those.
So
I Yeah, I do enjoy sleeping, but I
I
also
know. I had to add sleeping.
yeah, and it's very important, isn't it? But I also
Right.
enjoy on the top right there, going out into the forest or the mountains or the sea and walking as well. What
Oh,
about you, Sophie?
lovely. Oh, on one of the top ones, and we're giving some of the
Mm.
answers away now, so hopefully you're
Oh,
doing some good
okay.
listening. No, but that's
Yeah.
okay. One of the top ones, I would interpret it as yoga, and I
Ooh.
do go to a yoga club on a Thursday, which I really enjoy. So
Oh, well
good
done.
movements and good stretching, and that I always feel much better after coming out of yoga on a Thursday. So we've given you some answers and some clues. But next week, make sure that you come back and join us to do the Kahoot quiz. And let's remind ourselves, lastly, what the challenge is for a week. So have a conversation. You can do this individually. You can do a bit of think, pair, share. What do you do individually to look after your mental health and well-being? And how does your school support people's mental health and well-being? And please post all your great ideas so we can share them with each other on our Padlet, which is on the screen. Anything I've forgotten, Sue Ann?
That's brilliant, Sophie. Yeah, the QR code for the Padlet and the link. The link is also in the chat. So after we finish now today, you might want to go straight to do
Yeah,
the tasks, the challenge, and send us your challenges. You can also, if you're sharing on your social media pages, tag us on the e-sgol and the Children's
Child Com
Commission.
Wales, please.
There we are. Lovely. Thank you, Sophie. We're looking forward to seeing what you've been working on to mark Mental Health Month. We'll try and share as many as possible in our
Yes.
second assembly, won't we, Sophie? Next Tuesday, the 20th of May at 10 a.m. And remember your devices, as Sophie said, as we will be reinforcing the learning by playing a Kahoot quiz. Thank you so much, Sophie, for sharing the important messages about our rights, health, and well-being. Thank you to you all for joining in today. We'll see you next week.
Diolch yn
Ta-da!
fawr pawb, hwyl fawr.